Middle Eastern brands are actually wonderful. They actually offer you a lot of high value for money products which smells really expensive. But quite frankly, as of now, the perfumes have got to a price point of like 2500, 2600 or even 3000 rupees, which previously used to sell for like 17, 1800 or 2000. Now, this has created a gap where under 1000 rupees, perfumes that still smell expensive and good are really hard to find because you will be compromising a lot on the quality or the smell structure or the longevity. So I have come up with around 9 perfumes for you, which are banger or insanely high value for money, but they do smell pretty expensive, but under 1000 rupees. So if this kind of videos are helpful for you, I think a subscribe would mean a lot. But then again, watch the full video and then let's decide whether you like it or you don't, okay? So the first perfume that I'm going to talk about is going to be Beardo's Acid Sunburn. This is a 30 ml bottle coming at under like 650, 640 rupees. And trust me when I say this, a 30 ml bottle is still a long way to go. And the reason I'm recommending this one is because this smells very identical to the smell of Torino 21. A very expensive perfume, but this kind of captures 60-70% of the DNA, is insanely high value for money. And regarding the smell structure, it's a minty herbal perfume with zero sweetness, works absolutely fine for a high heat weather or areas where you do not want to smell, you do not want any sort of sweetness in your perfume, because it can happen that the weather is too hot and that even an ounce of sweetness is going to induce a headache. So for those people who do not like sweet perfumes, this is godsend, okay? And the smell, like a very high-end toothpaste or a spearmint chewing gum. That's the kind of vibe this perfume is going to provide. In terms of the longevity and performance, on clothes, basically this will project for an hour and the overall longevity is around 4 hours max. After that, you will have to top it up. But because the perfume is pretty inexpensive, under 1000 rupees, you can top it up, and this small little bottle you can carry with you any given point in time. Say for an example, you're commuting in the office. Somebody basically asked me, I'm commuting, how do I use my perfumes? Simple, do not use the perfume while traveling. Once you land to the office, go into the washroom, put a few sprays, come back, you're good to go for the next 4 hours. Again, maybe during the lunch break, if you want to go, spray a few, puffs, I would say, and then again, you're good to go. So that is how you can save a lot of money, still smell fresh, and that's going to do the job for you. Beardo Acid Sunburn edition or something smells absolutely wonderful. My number 1 pick. Number 2 is going to be coming from the house of Velore, Dubai, basically. This is called Tormenta, and this perfume is basically their representation of Parfums de Marly Sedley, a very expensive perfume. And quite frankly, this is not a one-to-one clone. I would say this is kind of an inspiration. And this perfume has got that same sparkling vibe, a fizzy vibe. It's a very fresh, uplifting perfume with the nuances of citruses. And quite frankly, again, if you do not like sweet fragrances, this is the one that you should go for. And in the dry down, this perfume has got a very nuanced sandalwood note that is incredible. That sandalwood adds a depth into the entire citrusy blend up top, and the fizziness will settle within the first 10 minutes or so. That fizziness or that effervescence will not be there. So do not feel like for the entire time you're wearing the perfume, you're going to get the 7-Up like feeling. That's just how the perfume smells in the opening, and the top note evaporates pretty quickly. In terms of the overall performance and longevity when applied on the clothes, this can project anywhere between 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes. It's a moderately projecting perfume, and in terms of the longevity, this will linger on your clothes for 5 to 6 hours easily. However, somebody coming in at a close vicinity to you or a close proximity to you will be able to get the whiff of this perfume. So it's pretty office safe as well. And during the summers, this can actually be a good life savior for you if in case you're looking for a perfume which has got the notes of citruses and sandalwood blended in together and smells like a very expensive perfume, which is Parfums de Marly Sedley. Now, let me go to my third perfume recommendation, which is going to be Coastal Breeze coming from the house of Oof. Now, this perfume basically smells like Pacific Chill, aka, it's not Pacific Chill. Basically, this one is trying to clone Afnan's Rare Reef, a perfume which sells for 3000 rupees, while this one around 1300 for 100 ml. And like, if in case you can get a 50 ml bottle, that's available under 1000 rupees, and that is the reason this is making to the list. This particular perfume has got the note of grapefruit up top. It's pretty sweet as well as citrusy, and the dry down has got some notes of dried fruits like fig, apricot, but the dried fruit notes is very nuanced over here, very similar to Rare Reef from Afnan, but that particular perfume is on another level. That's a beast mode freshie, like 7 hours to 8 hours that will linger on your clothes. This one will not do that. 4 to 5 hours this is going to linger on your clothes, and the projection is around an hour. But what you get under 1,000 rupees is absolutely top notch. Insanely expensive smell, to be honest. And if you let the perfume settle for a few weeks, there will be zero alcoholic blast, in my opinion, because I don't get any. And people might say that the blend quality is not up to the mark to Afnan Rare Reef. I agree. But there you're spending around 3,000. Here, almost less than half of that particular pricing. So my third pick is going to be Coastal Breeze coming from the house of Uff. Now, before I talk about the fourth perfume, I have a small request. I basically started a shorts channel, which is called Scent Saga Clips. The reason, some stories do not need 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or a listicle video, something like that. There are bite-sized content that I wanted to create for a long duration of time. However, I didn't want it to do in this particular channel because I wanted to keep this entire channel long form. And that is the reason I am shifting to another channel, which is Scent Saga Clips, which is going to give you the bite-sized information as well as the responses to the comments that I wanted to make in a form of a video. So my request is, if in case you can go ahead and support the channel Scent Saga Clips, the link will be in the pinned comment. I will be very, very, very grateful. So let's get back to the fourth perfume. So what if you need a perfume which you want to be gourmand, but you want some boozy characteristics into the perfume as well, but under 1,000 rupees. And it should not smell generic. It needs to smell a bit different. My answer to that is Menworks Heaven on the Rocks. When I initially got that particular perfume, this is a full bottle that I bought after I had the tester with me, the sample pack of 15 ml. This is 50 ml, but this is still under 1,000 rupees, which is absolutely wonderful. The perfume starts with a very juicy lemon cake or lemon pie-like smell, but quickly transitions into a boozy note because this is made on the DNA or inspired by the DNA of Killian's Angels Share on the Rocks. Okay, although this is not a head-to-head clone, this is kind of an inspiration, but an absolutely wonderful inspiration. Initially, when I received the perfume, the sample, I kind of had a mixed feeling because I felt that the perfume was not, up to the mark in terms of the blend or something. But after the perfume settled, it became so smooth, so amazing. I was like, I love this one. This is something that I usually do. If the perfume is not cheap, like very budget friendly, I usually get a sample, try it out first. If in case I like the sample, I get the full bottle. So that is the reason I invested in this one. If in case you want a gourmand perfume with some boozy accord, that is your thing. Heaven on the Rocks can actually make you smell completely different. Not the generic ones like the Khamra, the Liquid Brune and all those stuff going around at less than 1,000 rupees, top notch. And performance wise, this is great as well. Around 1 hour 15 minutes, this is going to project moderately. In terms of the longevity, 6 hours, this is going to stay on your clothes. Although this is not a summer friendly perfume, you can use it during the evenings, but not in a condition where it's too hot and humid, because then the perfume might feel a bit sticky. But monsoons are coming up. At that point in time in the evening, if the weather is a bit more cooler, you can actually go for it. Even during the autumn, the winters, this is a banger perfume. And I think you should have it in your collection. Menworks Heaven on the Rocks. My fifth, or 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. My fifth recommendation is going to be ultra cheap, budget friendly perfume. But punches above its weight, okay? That's Arabian Aroma's Rider. And trust me when I say this, when I actually smelled the OG Forever Wanted Elixir from Azaro, I was blown away like how Arabian Aroma did it at 350. Do not expect the same kind of performance or the same kind of blend quality, because there is a hell and heaven difference between the pricing. 6,000, 350, you have to understand. There is a difference, stark difference in the pricing. But in terms of the blend and smell structure, there is not much difference at all. 70-80% this is in that smell structure. It has got the raspberry note pretty well. It has got the, the opening and the dry down of Most Wanted. And on top of that, you get some leather. That accord is beautifully done over here. Here, the leather is not that prominent leather that you get with Forever Wanted Elixir, but the leather over here is much more usable and beginner friendly in my opinion. So if in in case you're looking for a perfume which has got a hint of leather, but also needs to be in the category where it's a bit playful, date friendly. In that case, Arabian Aroma Rider is like 350 rupees. You get this particular perfume. In my opinion, top notch. And performance around an hour, and the longevity is around 5 hours. But when the pricing is so low, you can actually top it up. You can actually go for this particular perfume. And somehow I'm seeing that Arabian Aroma is now saying it's IFRS certified. I don't know how it is and what it is, but in the box they used to say apparel perfume. So my theory is, if in case you're applying them, apply them on your clothes. All the perfumes I'm mentioning over here, please apply them on your clothes. This, what I'm doing is just for the demo purposes. Don't do that. Apply the perfumes on your clothes. Let's move on to the next perfume. So it's going to be my 7th perfume recommendation, and that comes from the house of My Perfume Secrets. And this particular perfume is Aqua Drip. I basically ordered a few perfumes from the house of My Perfume Secrets, and somehow the owner Imran basically sent me this. I was not ordering this one, to be honest, because I didn't know what the smell was going to be, because I know My Perfume Secrets to be a house which creates inspired blends. But when I was ordering it, he basically texted me stating that I want you to try this particular perfume, and I had zero hopes. The only reason I'm featuring this is because I feel that this needs your attention. This particular perfume is kind of a bridge or an amalgamation between two DNA, in my opinion. If you have ever smelled Enigma of Theft, which comes from a very expensive, it's pretty expensive, 5,000-6,000 rupees the brand is charging for that perfume. Swiss Arabian is the name of the perfume. It has got a note of Theft rose, which is a very different form of a rose accord, according to me. What if you mix the DNA of Rasasi Hawas, a bit of musk into the DNA? This is what you actually get. So this is kind of an amalgamation of 3 DNA, according to me. It's pretty musky at the base. The mid notes has the DNA or the aquatic DNA of Rasasi Hawas, and the opening has the DNA of Enigma of Theft, the rose, which kind of continues through and through in the entire journey. Quite frankly, I was kind of, taken aback looking at the perfume, and then I was like, yeah, it's a decent job done. And a 60 ml perfume selling under 1,000 rupees, that too which is not smelling generic at all, smells incredibly different, incredibly interesting. If in case you like the DNA of Rasasi Hawas and you love the DNA of rose and you want something which projects like crazy, because this is a room filler perfume, you can actually get this one. Around 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes, this is going to project like crazy, and the longevity around 6 to 6.5 hours when applied on the clothes. Even at times it's more than that, which is incredible value. However, blend wise, if in case you do not like the note of rose in any perfume, you might dislike it. So that's pretty much it. I mean, although this one was sent to me, I just wanted to cover it because I found this perfume to be interesting, nothing else. By the way, if in case you're feeling it's a paid promotion or something, it's completely up to you. You want to take it, you don't want to take it, is up to you. So nothing paid going over here, just letting you know. Next, this is my favorite house in a way, Ababel, because Illusion is one of their favorite perfume that I have with me. But if I come in every video and I talk about Illusion, you will be like, what is happening with this person? So today I have actually come up with a different perfume, because due to Illusion, I was not testing the rest of the perfumes from the house much. Although I have used them, but I was not wearing them enough. But Xtreme Vanilla from Ababel is that one particular perfume which needs your attention, because there are tons and tons of perfumes on the DNA of Spice Bomb Xtreme. Middle Eastern houses has a few which are incredible as well. But most of the perfumes basically focus on the DNA of vanilla. They make it very sweet. And quite frankly, I, although like the DNA of Spice Bomb Xtreme, I'm more keenly focused on the spices rather than the vanilla. And somehow Ababel's Xtreme Vanilla nails that particular part. It's a perfume which will give you the vibes of a designer grade perfume in terms of the blend quality, because there is no alcoholic blast. The perfume smells very, 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 very high quality. And this kind of focuses more on the spices, makes it a little bit less sweeter while capturing the same vibe of Spice Bomb Xtreme. Under 1,000 rupees at 999. Xtreme Vanilla is that one particular perfume that I can absolutely recommend if in case you love spices and vanilla in a perfume. And projection wise, this is going to project for around an hour, maybe max 1 hour 15 minutes, because this is a very moderately projecting perfume. Even the OG Spice Bomb Xtreme DNA does not really project much. This at least does better than the OG. In terms of the longevity, 5 to 6 hours, this is going to stay on your clothes, and after that you will have to top it up. So is this a beast mode projecting perfume? No. But the value, the way the perfume smells is incredible, and that is the reason this is making to the list. 2 more to go, by the way, okay? The next perfume comes from the house of Fusion by Rizwan, and this is King Tea. And Rizwan says this is basically a perfume which should smell like El Red Tea Vetiver, Clive Christian, a very expensive perfume. But to my surprise, I don't know if this was done deliberately or not. This has got the L Red Tea vibe, but it doesn't stop there. There is a nuance of Spice Bomb Xtreme like DNA over here as well. There is some nuances of Tobacco Vanille like DNA over here. And there is a hint of sandalwood over here as well, which is kind of weird but pleasing at the same time, I would say. And I don't know how it was blended, what Rizwan did with this perfume, but I fell in love with this perfume. So much so that after receiving it, I kind of started, putting a dent on it. I loved this perfume. Under like buy two get two free kind of offers are always going on in Rizwan's website. So technically the perfume should be available at around less than 500 rupees, like 450 rupees. You can get this perfume if in case you're buying in combo. And at that particular price point, it's next level. The only complaint that I have with this perfume is the projection and longevity. This is a very mild or moderately projecting perfume. Around an hour this is going to project, but in a very soft way. The overall longevity is like 4.5 to 5 hours max. After that you will have to top it up, and if in case you want good performance, you'll have to overspray a lot. That's the only caveat, but at around 450 rupees, I'm not complaining. Great stuff. If in case you're looking for an interesting DNA, try King Tea coming from the House of Fusion by Rizwan. And last but not the least, my recent favorite coming from the House of Vivian Luxury, Meteor. Now, LV Meteor is an expensive fragrance. We all know that. Even there is a Middle Eastern perfume called Shiaka Snow coming from the House of Khadlaj that got a lot of attention. 3,000 or 2,500 was the pricing of that particular perfume. This, on the other hand, if in case you're grabbing a 50 ml bottle, the pricing is under 1,000 rupees, around 900. You're gonna get the perfume, which is called Meteor, and 1,300 is the full bottle pricing, I guess. I got the samples because I wanted to test it before I go for a full bottle, and I was pleasantly surprised how good this perfume smells. There is almost negligible alcoholic blast. The perfume basically smells very close to the DNA of Shiaka's Snow from Khadlaj, not the OG LV Meteor, because LV Meteor has got some nuances as well. It's a citrusy floral perfume, and Meteor, the OG, is around, Khadlaj Shiaka Snow is around 70-80% in that DNA. This, I would say, will be around that 70-80% DNA as well, but the nuances are a bit different. But I absolutely love this perfume because of the way the perfume has been blended, the kind of value this is providing, and you actually do not need Shiaka Snow if in case you get this. I already have Shiaka Snow. That's Shiaka Snow. If you have this, you do not need a Shiaka Snow. It's that good. Performance wise, around an hour of projection. Longevity wise, around 5 to 6 hours of longevity when applied on the clothes, and I have no complaints whatsoever. So that's Vivian Luxury's Meteor. I would 100% recommend it for you to try if in case you're looking for a citrusy floral perfume to add in your collection, which is going to be a mass pleasing perfume, not something that will, choke anybody out, because it's a very moderately projecting perfume. And that kind of sums up the 9 perfumes that I wanted to share with you, which I feel are insanely budget friendly, but smells insanely expensive. If in case you have any comments or feedback for me, do let me know. I'll work on them, and subscribe if in case you feel this kind of videos are helpful. So with that, this is Deep signing off. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye-bye.